You talked about a man that was an expert on ants. When they study how ants work, they find that there's almost no intelligence in one ant. But you put 10,000 of them together and they do miracle things. One nerve cell in your brain doesn't have a lot of intelligence, but you put 3 billion of them together and you've got a supercomputer, right? So no one of us has enough intelligence to deal with the challenges, but if you put 7 billion of us together with a common objective, we will create a superbrain, and we already have the neural connections in place. It's called the internet. We just got to now get the internet free of all the trickery so that we can put all the ideas on the table.
Yeah.
And then get wise people like Jordan Peterson, Deepak Chopra, and anybody that's wise like the Dalai Lama to oversee the filtration process with moral principles guiding us. A moral, by definition, is a code of conduct that is life affirmative. An ethic is a code of conduct that may or may not be life affirmative. When I was a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division, I had a soldier's manual that told me exactly who to kill and what to do with them. That's not moral, unless it's really protecting your life. But when I found out the military is being used by rich people as a sword to steal things, to control other people, I said I can't participate in this. I joined the military on the honest intention of acting morally, to use force only to protect people when it was absolutely necessary to do it, not to go into the Middle East, steal them, screw their societies up, and take over their resources. And this is the kind of behavior that we have with Donald Trump and company, and others like him. And all I'm saying is we aren't going to solve these problems until we get clear on the moral ground rules of science and the moral ground rules of relationships and the moral ground rules of how we should farm and how we should do medicine and how we should raise children and how we should educate children and how we should care for each other. If we don't have a moral filter, we will just destroy each other in the name of trying to solve a problem, because everybody will say, my idea is right, screw you.
Okay. And the way to do that is put people together and get them to
take the geniuses in every field that are open-minded, honest, and willing to donate their life to solving the big problems at hand, and publicly fund them. Yeah. And stop pumping money into military, take all the defense systems and say we don't need them because we're all one family, we've got a problem that we all have to solve, or these war games aren't going to matter anyhow. Take all the large corporations like Google and create a public fund that supports food delivery and water delivery and rehabilitation of the soils and the environment, instead of all these people having enough money that they could never spend it anyhow and creating a huge divide in the economy. And then we actually all become incorporated into the one game called life.
Beautiful.
And we share the resources and we share the income. And certainly there can be perks for people that are the inventors or whatever to keep them inspired. But really, what is a guy like Bill Gates going to do with $130 or $160 billion?
Well, and obviously not a lot, because he's donating most of it.
Well, but a lot of the stuff he's donating to has actually got ulterior motives that are not healthy. All you got to do is look into all this stuff. The whole thing's
very healthy, but yeah.
It's an illusion. I mean, that's how do you think? These are the masters of illusion, right? There's a, listen carefully. The word television means tell a vision. And when you own the television channel, you tell the vision you want them to believe.
Yeah.
And when you have kids raised learning on screens, televisions, they don't know the difference between the truth and lies. So we've got to get morality so that the vision we're telling is bringing us together and making clear what the challenges are that we have to solve for the planet and for our own survival. And that is the hero's journey. And that's when we all get to become spiritual. That's when we all get to become adults. And that's when we all have to decide we're either part of the problem or part of the solution. If you're part of the problem, your future doesn't look good.
So that's the ultimate collective meta dream, basically.
And that's when all the ants get together and create a brain.
Yeah, yeah.